Picture this. You step off the plane in Oslo. The air is crisp. The mountains look like they were carved by giants. You grab a coffee, ride into the city and think, Norway feels peaceful. What could go wrong? And then bam, a uniformed inspector steps onto your tram, asks for your ticket, and your stomach drops. Or later that night, you pop into a supermarket for a bottle of wine and the shelves are closed off like a museum exhibit. Norway is stunning, yes. But it also runs on clear rules. Those rules protect nature, make cities safe, and keep life predictable. If you know them, your trip gets smoother. If you don't, a perfect day can turn awkward fast. So let's walk through the 17 Norwegian laws most tourists miss, with simple examples and quick takeaways you can remember. First, alcohol. Norway takes it seriously. You can buy beer and cider in regular supermarkets, but only during specific hours and not late at night. Wine and spirits? Those are sold only at the state-run shop called Vinmonopolet. It has limited opening hours and it's usually closed on Sundays and public holidays. Picture this. It's Saturday afternoon and you're heading to a cabin. You plan a cozy evening with a bottle of red. You stop by a supermarket, no wine. You find a Vinmonopolet, great, but it's closing soon and there's a line. The rule of thumb is simple. Plan ahead and always carry ID. Even if you look older than you think, staff are strict and polite, and they will ask. Second, public drinking rules. In many municipalities, open containers are restricted. That park picnic with a can of beer might be fine in one spot and not in another. In practice, Norwegians tend to keep alcohol to licensed spaces, bars, restaurants, or private areas. If you're unsure, look for signs or opt for zero alcohol options in public spaces. Norway is relaxed, but it's not a party in the streets culture. Keep it low-key, keep it respectful, and you'll blend right in. Third, drugs. This part is easy. Don't bring them, don't buy them, don't use them. Visitors sometimes assume Scandinavia means relaxed drug laws. That assumption will get you into real trouble here. Norway is clear on this. Save yourself the risk. Fourth, the famous right to roam, allemannsretten. This is one of the best gifts Norway offers. You can hike almost anywhere on uncultivated land and even wild camp. You can wake up to fjords and bird calls and feel like you're in a storybook. But there are rules. Keep your tent a good distance from houses and cabins. Think at least the length of a football field and then some. Don't camp on cultivated fields and don't stomp on crops. In most places, you can stay up to 2 nights in the same spot and then you move on. If you're truly remote in the high mountains, longer stays are often okay, but common sense and courtesy rule. Close gates you open. Don't leave trash, and if you're in doubt, ask a local. Norwegians take pride in this freedom. They also protect it by following the code. Fifth, fires and grills in summer. From mid-April to mid-September, there's a general ban on open fires in or near forests. Dry summers happen and a tiny flame can turn into a big problem. That cute disposable grill? It still counts. Some places have designated fire pits you can use. Some municipalities issue extra bans in drought. Before you strike a match, check the local notices or ask a campsite host. It's not about being strict, it's about keeping the landscape safe. Sixth, drones. Those fjords beg for aerial shots, I know. But Norway follows European aviation rules for drones with limits on altitude, distance from people, and no-fly zones near airports, military areas, and sensitive wildlife sites. Seabird colonies, reindeer herds, and nesting areas are common along the coast and in the mountains. If you launch your drone and a flock panics or animals scatter, you've crossed a line. Do the responsible thing. Check official maps, keep line of sight, and if you're close to uncertainty, don't fly. Seventh, fishing rules. Sea fishing from the shore or a boat is generally free for visitors. You can cast into the salty blue without buying a permit. Freshwater is different. Lakes and rivers usually require a license, and some rivers have specific rules for salmon and trout. There are also size limits and export limits on what you catch. The shortcut is simple. If it's freshwater, assume you need a license. If it's saltwater, you're usually fine, but still check local guidelines. A quick stop at a tackle shop or tourist office makes it easy. Eighth, littering and the pant system. Norway is clean because people keep it clean, and because there are incentives. Many beverage cans and bottles have a small deposit. You'll see the word pant on the label. Finish your drink and feed the empty container into the reverse vending machine at a supermarket. It spits out a receipt you can redeem. It's neat, it's satisfying, and it keeps parks and trails pristine. As for general littering, don't. Trash bins are everywhere, and leaving waste behind is a fast way to make enemies. 9th, smoking and vaping. Indoors, on public transport, and in many public places, it's a no. Even outdoors, expect signs near entrances, bus stops, and playgrounds. Step away from doorways. If you're near other people and unsure, move further. It's a culture of courtesy, clean air, clean spaces, fewer conflicts. 10th, public transport. Norway runs on trust, but that trust is checked. On trams, buses, ferries, and trains, you need a valid ticket before boarding or before the vehicle departs. Inspectors do random checks. If you don't have a ticket, explanations won't help. The easiest fix is to download the local app before you need it. In Oslo and nearby, that's Router. Across the country, Enter can help you plan and buy. Tap in, get your ticket, and relax. 11th, pedestrian priority. At zebra crossings, drivers must yield to pedestrians who intend to cross. If you're driving, slow down early. If you're walking, be predictable. Make eye contact and step forward clearly. It's a dance of mutual respect. Norwegians expect it to be smooth. The same courtesy applies to cyclists and drivers. Look up, nod at your phone, and signal your intentions. 12th, headlights. In Norway, your headlights are on, always. Day or night, summer or winter, it doesn't matter. If you rent a car, the settings usually default to auto, but check. A tunnel appears out of nowhere, a cloudburst darkens the road, or a moose wanders near the shoulder, you want to be visible. Speaking of tunnels, Norway has a lot of them. Stay alert when you enter and exit and maintain a steady speed. 13th, seat belts and child restraints. Every seat, every ride, even in taxis. The police run checks, and the culture expects compliance. If you're traveling with children, make sure the correct car seat or booster is in place. Rental companies can provide them. Book in advance so there's no last-minute scramble. 14th, drink driving. Norway's legal blood alcohol limit is very low, low enough that just one can push you over. Penalties are heavy and enforcement is serious. The simplest rule is the best rule. If you drink, don't drive. Cities have reliable public transport. Outside the cities, taxis exist, though they can be pricey. Expensive is still better than unsafe, and far better than illegal. 15th, speeding and camera enforcement. Many roads are scenic and empty. It's tempting to let the speed climb. Don't. Norway uses fixed and average speed cameras, and fines scale quickly. Mountain roads can be narrow, with sudden curves and wildlife. Coastal roads can be slick. The posted limit is not a suggestion, it's the safe speed for that environment. Set your cruise control, enjoy the view, and keep it legal. 16th, winter tires, studded tires, and chains. Norway's seasons are real seasons. If you're visiting in late autumn, winter, or early spring, your car needs suitable tires for the conditions. In snow and ice, you'll want winter tires. In some cities, studded tires are allowed but may require a daily fee. In mountain passes, chains might be necessary during bad weather. If you're renting, ask clearly which tires are fitted and whether chains are included. Your safety and your schedule depend on it. 17th, knives and reason to carry. In urban areas, carrying a knife in public without a good reason is not allowed. That means the pocket knife you forgot in your jacket could cause a problem on a night out. Use context. If you're hiking, tools are expected. If you're going to a bar, leave them at home. It's about intent and setting. Let's put this into a simple travel day to make it real. You wake in your hotel and plan a day trip, train to a fjord town, an easy hike, dinner back in the city. Before leaving, you buy a transport ticket on your phone. Easy. On the platform, you see a ticket inspector working the crowd. You feel calm because you're covered. On the train, a family sits nearby. No food wrappers are left on the seats, no loud calls, no shoes on the cushions. That's the vibe. Tidy, quiet, considerate. You arrive and head to the trail. You've packed water and snacks. You spot an open spot for a photo and think, a drone here would be incredible. But you remember, check the zone first. You decide the views from the path are more than enough, and you keep walking. Around midday, you find a clearing far from any cabins. You lay out a picnic. You brought a small backpacking stove, but it's midsummer and the forest is dry. Instead of cooking, you eat cold and enjoy the silence. The moss is soft. The air smells like pine. You leave no crumbs behind. Later, you pass a river. It looks perfect for casting a line. You're a guest here, so you ask a local at the shop. He smiles and explains. That stretch is freshwater, license required. The sea, on the other hand, is free to try. He points you toward the harbor and gives you a tip about the best time for mackerel. You thank him and move on. Back in town, you cross a zebra crossing. The car stops promptly. No honking, no inching forward, no stress. You nod a thank you. In the evening, you plan dinner and a quiet drink back at your room. You remember the alcohol rules and stop by Vinmonopolet before it closes. You show your ID, the cashier smiles, and you leave with exactly what you need. No last-minute panic, no disappointed friends. What happens when things go wrong? Imagine you forget to buy a tram ticket. The inspector steps aboard. You try to pay now. It's too late. In Norway, the rule is the rule. You learn, you pay, and you won't forget again. Or imagine you camp too close to a private cabin. A local hiker stops and gently reminds you of the distance rule. You move your tent, and guess what? Your view actually got better. There's a deeper rhythm to all of this. Norway's trust system works because people self-police with kindness. Rules are clear, enforcement is predictable, and courtesy fills the gaps. You'll notice small things. People queuing without chaos, trains leaving on time, trailheads without piles of garbage, doorways without clouds of smoke. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because individuals choose to be considerate, and the laws nudge them in that direction. Here are a few quick memory hooks to keep it easy. For nature, roam free, camp smart, fire safe, wildlife first. For transport, buy your ticket, lights on, belt on, slow down. For city life, plan alcohol early, keep it tidy, knives stay home at night. If you only remember those 3 clusters, you're 90% of the way there. If you're traveling with kids, add one more note. Family facilities are excellent. Strollers roll easily, playgrounds appear everywhere, and museums welcome curious minds. But seatbelts are non-negotiable, and child seats must be right for their age and size. Book them with your rental. When you reach a crossing, make it a game. Look left, look right, make eye contact with the driver, then walk. Kids learn the Norwegian way in minutes. Visiting in winter? Add a weather mantra. Check the forecast. Ask locals about the road ahead. If a mountain pass recommends chains, don't treat it as a suggestion. If the wind snarls and the snow flies sideways, take the bus or wait for a clearer window. The scenery will still be there tomorrow. A quick word on courtesy habits that pair well with the laws. Inside, bring your voice down one notch. On public transport, save phone calls for later. On trails, a small hey or hey hey goes a long way. If someone stops to let you pass on a narrow path, say thanks. If you're at a shared cabin or a scenic pull-off, take your photos, enjoy the moment, and make room for the next person. You'll feel the country's calm flow around you when you do. Let's recap the essentials in one breath. Alcohol. Supermarkets for beer and cider, state shops for wine and spirits, plan ahead, carry ID, Sundays are tricky. Public drinking. Many places restrict it, keep it discreet. Drugs, don't. Right to roam, yes to wild camping on uncultivated land, far from homes, move on after a couple of nights. Fires, summer bans near forests, check local rules. Drones, fly only where allowed, wildlife matters. Fishing, sea is usually free, freshwater needs a license, check size and export limits. Littering and pant, return your cans and bottles, leave no trace. Smoking and vaping, not indoors, not near doors or stops. Public transport, ticket first, inspections happen. Zebra crossings, drivers yield, pedestrians signal clearly. Headlights, always on. Seatbelts, all seats, even taxis. Drink driving, the limit is very low. If you drink, don't drive. Speeding, cameras everywhere. Enjoy the scenery, not the fine. Winter tires and chains, conditions decide. Be prepared. Knives, only carry in public if you have a clear reason. If you carry these rules with you, something wonderful happens. Norway opens up. You notice the quiet order of small towns and the generosity of strangers. You drift across a fjord by ferry, step onto a platform that's clean and calm, walk a forest path where the only sound is wind and water. You experience the country the way Norwegians do, with trust, with respect, and with ease. If this guide helped you feel ready, here's my ask. Tap like so more people find it before their trip. Subscribe for deeper Norway travel guides, from wild camping etiquette to the best transport apps and how to pack smart for seasons that change fast. And if you've been to Norway and learned a lesson the hard way, Share it in the comments. Your story might save someone else's holiday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.